guys, Jeremy Molly here with EndlessMartialArtsDrills.com, and I wanted to share with you a sparring concept called the Sparring Sandwich, something that I came up with a few days ago, actually doing a private lesson with one of the younger students. He was like 8 years old. So before we talk about that concept, I want to pre-frame this. There's different types of sparring. There's your, like if you're doing a kickboxing match, there's that type of sparring, or self-defense, like you're going for the kill. You're picking the techniques that work the best, that are the most high percentage, and that are efficient to go for a knockout or for victory in self-defense. Then there's tournament sparring, like competition. That's similar, but maybe you might not be going for the knockout. You might be just trying to score as quick a point as possible. There is demonstration sparring, where you're you and your partner are trying to look really good, maybe for a demo or something like that. There is classroom sparring, like free sparring, where we're just trying to work on something to get better. Then we have what I would call testing sparring. So testing sparring, if you do a belt test or you are watching your students and checking them out to promote them, they're not going to spar the same way. They shouldn't be sparring the same way as they would for self-defense or a kickboxing match or free sparring in class. Example, do you want your students, when you're testing them, to be trying new things and fall on the floor? No. Do you want them to do the same technique over and over, jab, cross, round, because it's effective and it's a high percentage technique and that's the only thing they do? No. So we have to define what testing sparring is. Testing sparring is similar to a demonstration. It's kind of like a give and take with your partner. You're both showing techniques that you know and giving opportunities for each other to do things with blocking and countering, all that stuff. But the testing sparring specifically, we want to see a little bit of everything. We want to see variety. We want to see that you know a lot about martial arts and lots of techniques that you can do. So testing sparring. Now, I've had trouble in the past trying to explain this to younger kids, what they need to do at the testing, because they're like, this works, this jab cross works, I'm doing it, why did I pass? I've been doing the jab cross the whole 2-minute round. Well, it looks great. Yeah, it does, but we need to see more than that. So I came up with this concept in a private lesson called the Sparring Sandwich. So here's how it basically is. Sparring is like a sandwich. The bread, the meat, and the other piece of bread for the sandwich is basically, you can look at the bread as your bread and butter, your jab, cross, hook, uppercut, your hand techniques, your basic techniques, and your blocking. And you can look at the meat in the sandwich as your kicks, your basic kicks, front kick, round kick, side kick, okay? So I've got the 3 core techniques and the 6 hand techniques. So 3 foot techniques and 6 basic hand techniques. Of course, there's a lot more, but we're talking about the sandwich, the bread, and the meat of the sandwich. Now, I asked the kid in the class, well, what do you like to eat on your sandwich? Do you just eat ham and bread? Is that what your sandwich is like, or just turkey and bread? He's like, no, I like onions. I like putting spinach on my sandwich, some mustard, cheese, all this stuff. So I came up with like 5 ingredients in his sandwich that he liked to put on his sandwich. And meanwhile, in the private lesson, I'm sure his dad was in the lobby like, listen, and he's like, where is this going? Why? I'm paying a lot of money to talk about a sandwich. What's going on here? And then I broke it down. I said, okay, well, your sparring is like a sandwich. A sandwich with just ham or just turkey and bread is going to be like the nastiest, driest sandwich ever, You want to put some other stuff on that, right? So I want you to think about what is the cheese in your sandwich going to be? How about a jump front kick, okay? Because that's a flashy technique that he's good at, that I wanted to see in his sparring. What about the spinach? What did you want with that? Well, I'm really good at a spin side kick. Okay, so that's your spinach on your sandwich, is a spin side kick. What about your onions? What other techniques are you really good at? Well, I like a spin hook kick. I'm really good at that. Okay, great. And the last one ended up being some spices. He threw some spices on his sandwich, and that was a Superman punch. So we picked like 5 ingredients to go on his sandwich, his basic core stuff. Because he was doing really good with the jab cross and the round kick and just the basics, but he needed to add all this other stuff in. And then I asked him, I was like, well, okay, how good would a sandwich be if it was piled this high with spinach and then it was just bread and bread and meat with a thick, 2-inch helping of spinach? He's like, well, I don't really like spinach that much. I was like, neither do I in your sparring. So I want to see a little bit of everything. We want to see you mix that sandwich up, and that's going to be a tasty sandwich. So our new theme for the testing week has been, I want you guys to serve us a tasty sandwich. And all the kids are kind of getting it and knowing what it's about. And I think our testing is going to look a lot better because they're going to be doing a lot more variety and showing us, not just the meat and potatoes of sparring, but everything. So I hope you enjoyed that concept. Maybe you can share that with your students, especially kids. But I do this, again, with adults as well. It's just as effective. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Have a great week.